all types of mischief. Never done drugs at this point. Been around all that stuff, watching it, the drinking, all that kind of stuff. And I always said, I'm never gonna do that. Not me. I won't do that. And I did it for a long time. Well, after living with my grandmother, probably about 12 years old, I was getting in a lot of trouble with the schools, getting expelled, fights, stealing, just back talking, I was rebellious because I didn't have no father figure. I wasn't living with my mother. My sister was living with her, and it made me jealous and upset deep inside, so I didn't get the proper help, anyone to talk to about the stuff that I was going through. So my grandmother couldn't take it anymore, my mother couldn't take it anymore, and I ended up going into DSS custody, Department of Social Services, about 12, 13 years old, somewhere in there. But I remember living in 15 different homes in 1 year, always on the move, never somewhere stable. No foster family wanted me. They tried throwing me in programs, thinking that would help. Just everywhere, still not getting the proper attention, the proper needs that I needed as a child. And that made it harder on me. I felt neglected, and I had emotional abandonment issues. I was going up with physical abuse, emotional abuse, sexual abuse, just everything you can name of throughout my whole childhood. And then finally at 15, it was the last straw. One of the foster families hit me, and I ran away. Ended up living on the streets of Massachusetts for just a short while. And then the police were on my track, so I hitchhiked it down to Tennessee. That's how I ended up here. While being here, my mother was living here at that time. So I tried living with her. Of course, I never really, after that whole time of trying to live with her the first 6 years and her giving me up, I had resentment towards her, and I was angry. I was holding in feelings deep inside, and without me being able to express that and talk to her and get the proper counseling until later on, I took it out on her, out on my sister, out on anybody that was around me. And she ended up taking me to a couple churches here, and then I ended up meeting a guy from one church that took me here 18 years ago. So it's been a long time since I've been in this church, I'll tell you that, and it brings back a lot of memories. But some of the best times was in this church. I remember when I used to come into this church Sunday mornings, and then just on Saturday nights or something like that, sanctuary. I remember we had this old time projector right here, and I used to flip the song list on here for the band and everything, and for everyone to see, and I was always up in the front. Well, shortly after that time, when I found God and got saved, that's when the devil hit me the most. I was about 18 years old. It was the first time I did drugs, and it was here in Tennessee. And I think the main reason why he hit me so hard was because I was falling in love with Jesus Christ, and before then, I didn't know God, and I had a lot of the other issues going on, so he said, oh, no problem, we don't need to worry about you. So, but once I started to find Lord and getting so emotional in the church scene, that's when he started putting those bad influences around me, and boy, it hit harder than anything. I'm talking about like if you jump off of a roof and hit that ground, your feet, boom. Because I had such an addictive personality from growing up with a drug addiction, watching the drugs in the house, family done drugs and was on drugs at one point in time. So it already ran in my system, no matter what. So that first time I picked it up, it just, I like this. Yeah, great. The biggest thing about that when I was getting in that drug scene was the people I was hanging out with. I felt like I was welcomed. Something that I was longing for, even though I had it in the church, but it was a different kind of welcome. And what was difficult about it was it felt like they loved you and they wanted you around more and more. But the problem was they didn't care about you, not at all. When I got arrested, went to jail, not one person came and visit from that scene, not one. I've died 8 times, overdoses, 4 on coke and 4 on heroin throughout my life. And the last time was July of 2013. And the sad part about the whole situation was the person I was around, there was 3 people around at that time. 2 of them hitchhiked it out the door, and the only person that was there decided to take a picture of me dead first, and then resuscitate me back to life. So yeah, I have those pictures to remind myself actually, so I'm kind of happy about that. And I look back at those pictures every day. They're on my Facebook. I'm not ashamed of it, because I look back at that and I just remember, do I want that life? No. No. I recently got arrested back in 2013 of October 17th. And I've been in and out of prison and jail throughout those, since 2000 on. But this last time I got arrested, before I got arrested, I really wanted to get off the meth, get off away from all these people, and I just could not get away. It had me so addicted, so clung to it, that I could not get off of it, no matter how hard I tried. And it was just too late. It felt like I was too late. I tried no matter what. I said I was selling the dope and surviving off making that money. And at the time, I even had my own company that I did not need to sell the dope. I was doing really well, but just could not kick the habit. I was too afraid, and my pride was too high for me to ask for help. And that's one of the things that the drug does to you. It tears you down, and I stayed solitary to myself, would not hang out with anybody, wouldn't even go see my son, didn't even like going to talk to my mother. And because I knew she would try to figure out if I was high or not. And I didn't want to lie to her, so I stayed away. But I ended up fighting some dope cases back in 2013 and failed a drug test and went on the run. During that time of being on the run, I ended up in Atlanta and moving around with a bunch of Mexican mafia people that was, big on us selling the dope. And the scariest parts about that was the women in that scene of dope don't care about you at all. And I clung to the women because I wanted to feel wanted, I wanted to feel loved, I needed some kind of connection. And one of the women that I knew almost got me killed from the mafia and the cartel, I mean, and saying that I stole $10,000. Well, my stealing days was over a long time ago after I got punished when I was a kid for stealing. And I was like, look, I didn't steal it. And it ended up being her stealing it. And I had a gun pulled to my head, just sat down on the ground with a 6-foot hole right in front of me. And the only thing that saved me, I believe, was Jesus. I know he's been with me ever since, because with the overdoses, with the being robbed, pistol whipped several times, near strokes, and all types of several different health issues, God has been there right beside me, waiting for me to come reach out for him again. And it took October 17th of being arrested, finally, and going to jail, this last stunt, for me to actually get sober. And that's what I needed. I needed to go. No rehab was going to help me, nothing like that. I needed to go to jail where I can find myself again, find my soul, and reconnect with Jesus, and reconnect with my inner self and the real person that I am. I'm happily sober now, and I've been sober since October 17th, 2013.
Yeah. Amen.
celebrating my 2-year anniversary on that, 17th of this month. And I'm thankful for Jesus. I'm thankful for the opportunity that he's given me. I've grown so much while I was in jail. Now I'm doing so much on the community outside of for other addicts and stuff like that, trying to talk to them, giving classes. Been started doing this Criminon class with the Way to Happiness, and we're going to be doing a drugfree.org class and stuff like that. But the opportunity that he set forward to me, I believe in my heart that I'm here for a reason. My reason is to reach out to youth and other adults that are fighting addiction as best as I can. You know, it's going to get a whole lot of getting used to talking in front of people, I'll tell you that. But as far as the, I just lost track on that. So, let's see. Well, anyways, I'm doing those classes and stuff, and it's going to be a struggle. I still, you know, I'm thankful to this day since being out. I got out of jail July 23rd, just past July, and it, you know, I've been so strong with the Lord, and every time I see a drug on TV or something like that, I just remember where I came from, how low I was in the gutters, on the streets. Just dirty, just dead, and I look back and and I'm thankful that I have not had no cravings, no wanting to use. So what would it be like if I go back? Because I know if I go back this one time, it will be the end of me. Just like Jim was saying earlier, how someone was sober for 6 months or 6 years, and he first time doing dope or drinking, died instantly. And I know several people in my life I've been surrounded with that have died, you know, lost their lives at just a young age, 15, 16, 18 and up. And I got 2 cousins that have been struggling with heroin, and they're just so young and have so much potential. And it's hard to, I hate the fact that I can't do nothing about it, because I want to get out there and go, hey, smack you around a little bit. Look, what are you doing? Look at what I went through, you know? But, you know, sometimes some people have to learn on their own, like I did. And once you say it, you know, once you've gone through as much bullcrap that I did and realize enough is enough, that's when you're going to wake up. Because no matter how much you try to tell a drug addict, you need to go do this, you need to do this. But with me, if you're telling me to do something, I'm going to avoid you because it's not my idea. I want it to be my idea, you know? So you can tell them everything, but until they are ready for that help, try not to push it on them too much. Just try to just be their friend, be their family, you know, their mother, their father, whatever you can, and just be supportive of them as much as you can. Put the literature in front of them, you know, but don't force it on them, because that will push them away more. That's what you don't want to do. Just make sure that rule is, don't do this stuff, don't come home like this, you know, stuff like that. You know, keep it out of the house, keep it away, because I mean, once you push it away, then they're really gonna go through a hard time, and maybe sometimes some people need that. I got pushed away and I needed it, but you know, just remember, if you do push them away, they will come back. They will come back if they really want to get sober, if they really want to be, you know, part of your life. And you know, I didn't talk to my family for a long time, and some friends wouldn't have anything to do with me. I have a friend here that just gave me tough love, wouldn't talk to me for a while, and just, you know, I needed that. You know, everybody works different. But I'm thankful for being here with you guys, and I thank you for everyone that made the trip to come see me. And
I've got a couple questions for you. We're not going to spend a whole long time doing this, but Mike, is there a point where you feel like you're completely over your drug addiction? I mean, because some people stay clean for 10 years and then they come back. I mean, do you think it's always going to be a battle until the day that you get your promotion?
Unfortunately, because I'm always an addict. I will always fight that temptation, fight that, in my system, everything, no matter what. And so I have to work even harder just to stay sober.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, so it's always going to be a battle then. It never goes away, guys. It's always there with you. You know what I'm saying? And as hard as that may sound, we've got to surround Mike. We got to help him. You know what I mean? And I want to prophesy to you for a minute. It is no coincidence that you're sitting on the stage right now. It is God's will for you to be here. It's also God's will for you to tell your testimony to large audiences across America or wherever. I believe God's going to raise you up, and He's going to do great things with you, but you've got to keep your mind and your eyes. Turn around and look at that. See that cross right there? You got to keep your mind and your eyes focused on the cross. God's going to raise you up, and He's going to do something great in your life. Much more and much different than you think. But I just want to prophetically give that to you. It's no accident that Mike has been here. And because I've been thinking about doing something like this for this congregation for a while now. And I knew that Mike struggled. And then Mike just happened to be an extra on the show that I'm working on here in town. And I just happened to see him, and I sat down and I just knew that this is what God wanted us to do. And just very briefly, if you guys have any questions for Mike, I just want to just take a very few short minutes and open this up for questions for him. So if you have a question that might be in your mind right now, go ahead. If you guys want to say something or ask a question. Anybody?
don't be shy.
Yeah.
If I got up here, you can talk too.
Yeah. Anybody? Miss Lisa?
I don't need a mic.
You don't need
No, I don't need a mic. Yeah. I was just wondering if, since it's only been a short period of time since you have been out of prison, has someone set up some sort of a support network for you if you were to need some support?
Has somebody or will,
there?
is there? Well, the support network that I have is I've been working with the Metro Police Department and a couple detectives there, talking to them regularly, and we're trying to work out classes and other types of support for other people as well. And so I've been doing these classes at the Hermitage Precinct and Downtown Precinct every week. Every week I go to classes for myself as well, which is an intensive outpatient program, and as well as give classes and help volunteer for that stuff. I have my family, and I have a very good little support group of friends that have been very helpful. And I've been blessed to have them because I was without a vehicle and not too long ago, and a friend of mine saw how good I was doing and blessed me with a vehicle, helped me out so I can get to work and get to these groups and continue to do the stuff that I've been doing. So.
That's good. Thanks, Mike. Anybody else? Come on now. It's a tough subject, isn't it? It's hard to hear.
How's
Okay,
your
dear.
father?
How's my father? Still a drug addict. He's on the verge of dying, and he's hooked on heroin really bad. He just lost his wife from heroin overdose and pills, and she was only 3 years older than me, I think, something like that. And they were married for 10 or 15 years, I can't remember, but he's got cancer and a lot of other problems, and I won't go visit him. I have to stay away. If I was to visit him, I would have to bring a support group with me, and I could not stay in his house. I would have to get a hotel. So.
Wow. I can't even imagine not being able to see my dad.
Yeah, I haven't seen him in probably about 10 years.
Okay, Lisa?
What kind of relationship do you have with your son now?
I have a lot better relationship now because I want to go do activities. I go to baseball with him. I try to help coach the team, and I sit there and I talk to him about school. Before, I would just say, not right now, I'm too busy or something, or I gotta work, and make up some kind of excuse. But like just the other night, I went and picked him up from baseball game that got canceled, and we talked about his school and about he's got this little girl that he likes, and he's never dated or asked a girl out before, so I'm probably not the best person to give tips, but you know, he got her email finally after getting rejected for so long. So you know, and I know he likes and he thrives for that attention and wants to talk to me more and more and everything like that. So, and I'm enjoying that communication.
Amen.
That's good. And you gotta be there for him. You gotta tell him the truth. Amen. Mr. Phil?
What can we do for you?
You guys have done a lot for me already. Just let me come up here to speak and get it off my chest. And maybe the next time I come and speak, and it'll be a lot more fluent. Because there's really a lot that I left out just because of time. But I mean, I'm planning on putting maybe a small book together or something eventually. I'm going to work on something like that, or a video. But I'm looking forward to doing a lot more of this. And just to support, and I would like to stay in touch with anyone that wants to stay in touch. Jim Laverty, I'm on his page, and I'm also on the Abundant Life page as well. And I always update what I'm doing on there, and it's always been positive stuff. And the 2 times it's been negative has just been I've been depressed, or just car broke down. I'm going on a bad day, but I'm just gonna stay in. You know, and I'll go back and I'll call somebody, you know, that's been really positive in my life. And the biggest thing is staying away from those old friends. And as long as I make new friends, new positive friends, that keeps me even more motivated to stay sober. And I'm enjoying life now. I'm enjoying my sobriety. I'm enjoying my health. I can think a little bit clearer, even though with all the drugs that I've done, I've suffered like memory loss, short-term brain, effects, and just a lot of different things. I still have like some flinches, where I'd just be sleeping in and I'll just jerk and it's gonna go away eventually, but sometimes maybe not, and I might be stuck with it, but it's whatever. So, but I appreciate everyone, like I said.
Maybe one more? Anybody else? Okay. Well, this was an interesting Sunday, huh? Wasn't what you were expecting? Not the average church service? Welcome to Jim Laverty World. Anyway, let's get Mike a